Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars stream, week 69, day 6. So, today, of course, we are going to be wrapping up Guild Wars. Also, the last several hours, they can go and get Bounty Hunter completed as well, if you still need to go complete that out. Of course, yesterday we ended up finishing out the last little bit of that, so that's already down. And of course, there's still a leaderboard if you want to possibly aim for that. However, it is relatively high. You almost need to double the amount of points just to get all rewards in order to get one single extra orb and 75 gems. So really not worth it at all. These leaderboards, gosh, the bottom end of leaderboards have just gotten higher and higher over time, quite substantially. But yeah, that is quite a steep increase. Oh, I guess I might as well mention this since it's popping up on its own. Not really too worth it, but there is 2 Orbs of Ascension available for 25 bucks. Of course, there's a few other things there too, but obviously that's the big bulk of the value. That and the gems, obviously. But there's that there if anyone was interested. I don't feel like it's particularly good value, but some people might really want a few extra orbs in there. Other than that, let's go to Guild Wars. So, of course, oh, actually, before I do Guild Wars, next week spoilers. Actually, I already have that up. So, let's go over these things. So, first things first. Obviously, it's going to be a Urskea event. We'll be able to get a bunch of Urskea troops coming in through the thing next week. So, as far as our first one that we have here, this one's going to be coming in through invasions. It deals damage to an enemy boosted by enraged allies. This boost ratio is of a boost ratio of 4 times. So you end up gaining 4 times the amount of damage per enrage, and that's not really going to be much of a benefit. However, it does have armored, which will make it a little bit good, and the fact that it has armored into a enrage boost ratio could be okay if you're going to be spamming enrage on this, which you might be doing, given that this is Tower of Doom, so you'll be able to hit through to 75% reduction and still have skull reduction yourself while having 5 times skull damage to every tower. So it should be okay in combination with other Urskea troops, since you are going to be restricted to specifically Urskas themselves, and quite a few Urskas have enrage options that you would be able to use. You'll be able to stock up on brown-purple next week. Why do I feel like this troop already exists in the game? No, it's more of a curse option. Okay, so this is slightly different. But it explodes a gem, deals 25 damage to the first enemy, boosted by purple gems destroyed, and then ends up cursing them. So yeah, that is slightly different than the other one that ends up doing skulls with its ability. Looks relatively similar though. But anyways, other than that, it has a 25% revive thing, unfortunately. This is going to be something that is very irrelevant for this troop. However, it's going to be very relevant for the farming of Urskea itself. 25% chance to summon an Ancient Horror is bad, because that means 25% of the time this thing is on the opposing team, you're going to need to go and re-kill it, which is going to slow you down if you're doing the Urskea Kingdom. This is going to partially nerf the ability to farm Urskea as a farming place to quick kill. It still will be able to keep a relatively similar speed. However, this will slow it down by almost a minute per hour, approximately, or a minute or two. Because every single time this thing appears and does a 25% chance, that will make it so you need to go get mana all over again. And given that if you're using a Scorpius team, it takes quite a bit of time to get mana back up since you need 28 each time. And that's applicable to any team that you use now in Urskea. But we might need to go find another alternative. Unfortunately, now there is no place that has no revive and no immune to poison. You have to go either one or the other. There's still places that only have one poison but don't have any of these 25% mechanics. However, that one poison is probably going to be more annoying than this 25% mechanic will be. But we'll have to see how commonly it ends up appearing and seeing if it'll actually be that big of an issue. Alternatively, one other thing we might need to go do is just start using that hero class that has stun. Oh gosh, what was it called again? War Priest? I believe it was War Priest. War Priest has a 25% chance per turn to stun a random enemy. And while the chance it would specifically hit this isn't guaranteed, it would end up assisting in making sure that this has a lower consistency with triggering its trait. Alternatively, we could try to find a way to put Obsidius into the team, but that would kind of be a waste at that point. So can't really do that because where do we really have to put it? We can't really get rid of Weapon because that's mana accumulation. Can't really get rid of Leprechaun because that's how we get started. Though I guess if we could get rid of anything, Leprechaun's probably the thing we trash. Scorpius we need because that's our whole team, and then Uryali is our poison. Theoretically, Uryali could be replaced for another poison, but there isn't a way to attach it to another troop. We can't really attach it to our hero viably because hero doesn't have any kind of consistent 4 times poison off of perks. That'd be pretty cool if we got a hero class that did do that. But anyways, so that's probably going to be the most annoying thing that comes in next week. Other than that, we are getting a Arskea form of that double weapon thing. This we are going to have for pretty much every single troop type and every single kingdom in the entire game. This is yet another one, and it's green and brown for Arskea. You guys know how these work by now, and this one is absolutely no different than all the others. And other than that, that's it, actually. We have a new little cosmetic pack coming on Wednesday, and Friday's Vault event. So other than that, that's pretty much all the eventful things, and the only few things that we're getting next week. A little bit of a slower week just because it is Christmas, but you know, the weekend we'll be able to have a bunch of grind, or I should say all of you guys will, because I am going to be gone soon. I am leaving the Thursday night stream will be our last stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we won't be back till the 6th or the 7th. I forget what day at this point, but yeah, I believe it's the night of 6th. It's the Monday night around the 6th. Whatever is the first Monday around that time frame or so is when we'll end up being back. But yeah, it's going to be a while because I'm going to be going away for New Year's, and yeah, it's going to last for like 2 weeks because I'm leaving in like almost right after Christmas, and then going to be gone till a little after New Year's. But anyways, yeah, Monday's the 6th. Okay, so I'll be back the night of the 6th. I should be. My flight's coming in like later on the 6th. I should feel up to streaming that day. I might not be able to cover the event video that day directly, but I would be able to stream that night and just cover the event video the following day, because I probably won't be getting into like a few hours before the stream, most likely. But anyways, Guild Wars. Let's go do that. So of course we do have our final Guild Wars of this week. Also, let me go make chat bigger. Why do I have it so small right now? I have it like microscopic small. I wonder why I can't see chat. Hello everyone. Let's see. Hello, Bill Warhammer. Hello, Simpleman. Hello, Steve. Hello, Birdleaf. Hello, Jellybean. Hello, Drock Savage. Hello, Simpleman. Can I rate all the good tasks from bad to worse? Green, best. Everything else, worst. There you go. Hello, Joshua. Hello, hello, Adam. Hello, Oif. Hello, Birdleaf. Hello, James. Hello, Mobarashi. You got 2 Nishas. Congratulations. Very nice. Yeah, we finally, I put it in the title too, since we didn't really have any of our titles. But we did finally get Guai maxed yesterday. It didn't happen this stream. It happened in the previous stream, right towards the end. We got our final Anu we needed to max out Guai. We gave him 3 little Anus, or I shouldn't say little. They are so hard to get. And boom, we got our first legend fully maxed. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, right after all the instances we actually needed it, because the 2 biggest things I use him for these days is Bounty Hunter and Guild Wars, both of which we pretty much finished by the time we got him maxed. Not too big a deal. It's not much of a benefit, but still helps him out nonetheless. Also, we ended up breaking the 2 curse. We went 2 wins, 2 wins, 2 wins, 2 wins. We went 3 yesterday, and I don't know, this team for whatever reason keeps stumping people. But yeah, 5 wins. Best team of the week: Farce Troll, Mirage Queen, King Gap Truffle, Elemental Bow. If you have Elemental Bow, you might want to consider it. However, this team is extremely dependent on Elemental Bow. But yeah, it's throwing a lot of people off. I guess a lot of people just don't expect it or something. I'm not sure. But it's pretty much Truffle team, except you don't use double Truffle. Instead, you use Elemental Bow. This helps cover more color, while also being completely unique, so that you don't get penalized on score. But yeah, you have tank ability here. You have regen. You have entangle. You have the capability of creating a lot of greens by doubling them. Mirage Queen gets curse option, as well as converting all greens to Doom Skulls, while also still having tank ability, while also giving all elementals 50% mana start. His entire team is elemental except for hero, because there currently is no elemental hero class, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would use it there. But Frost Mage, of course, due to its freeze, works perfectly fine too. Truffle, as you guys know, is just insane with its gem spawn and does full AoE. Also has some disease, which can be placed off the curse. And other than that, we have Elemental Bow, which ends up creating a bunch of extra blue and green based on how many elementals we have, which is everything except our hero. And it's also set to Frost Mage. So every single time we extra turn, we're going to be spamming freeze potentially on them. We also gain Arcane for even more damage on this bow. And we just keep poking them into mass freeze and just chip them down. And it ends up working out pretty nicely. apparently. 511, which is almost double as good as any other team we've used this week. As far as how its win rate went down. But not too bad. And I ran it with 12 extra magic. Obviously, we had our medal set to that. Though I will be changing that right now, obviously, as we go do other stuff. But let's go and see what we're up against. As far as Purple Guild War, I don't know. We do have an alternative Purple Guild War that I had a spot saved just in case for this. Where'd it go? I'm pretty sure I still saved it. There it is. So this team was what we were potentially planning on running. However, this was more of a life and death counter, I believe we ended up running it for. I think this was specifically geared towards life and death counter. I believe I'm not going to go for it. I'm still not sure. Because we were going to try to attempt Shabanu Vespera for purple. My only big concern is it's not as good as blue or yellow. Particularly blue. And until we get that new hero class at the early of next month, I don't believe we're going to bother rolling with it. And for that reason, I think we're actually going to stick with what we had and not run that. But that was another alternative we were possibly considering. Anyways, let's roll it with Zugov. Given that we're running Zugov, let's go run a bunch of manas that we need. Or a bunch of things that we need. So we'll go 20% start with our last Anu. Luckily, you only need one Anu, unlike other token or other medals where you need to make sure you keep at least 3. Medal of Anu you actually only ever need 1 of. Because 1 is enough to get the full bonus. Because they don't stack. Or do they stack with other mana percents? Anyways, let's go do this. Guild Wars. Fight. Let's see what we can do. Do I need to revamp anything else? I don't believe so. We're currently using Orb Weaver. Oh, never mind. Orb Weaver doesn't even matter because of lack of hero class. All we need is that little extra HP so we don't die as quickly, and it should be good. This is a bit of a weird team in that it can get disabled pretty quick because Zugov's not much of a tank, but once it gets going, it's pretty much auto-win. The only big issue is getting it going. Oh, see his Megavore. Gotta be a little careful. No, stop getting so many extra turns. I don't need him randomly Megavore killing. Okay, can we get infinite loop right here? Because we desperately need it right now. After that just happened. Okay, I'm actually going to go for this prior. Just because I feel like we'll get alignment. And we do. Get our other convert. Come on, Zugov. Don't die on us. Let's see. Let's attack reduce you. In case something weird happens. You did not just survive with 1 HP. What will go 0 you, I guess. Actually, no. We'll go to heal this one. And Zugov kill. Actually, I probably should have Zugov killed. We would have cleaned up the other one. Could have saved a turn, but oh well. Shaky start, but it definitely won. You wonder if the devs make Elemental Hero class, it will have Storm Tree. It will. If they ever make an Elemental Hero class, it'll 100% have Storm Tree. However, based on what we currently know as far as existing hero classes, none of the 34 hero classes will have Elemental typing, which is weird. However, they are going to be doing a patch revamping them. So in that patch, they might end up changing some hero classes. Like, they might end up making the Drifting Sands hero class into the Elemental one. We'll have to see, but they are going to be doing some kind of tweak to it nonetheless. Okay, the only 2 things we can target, we have reduced down to 0. And now we can target anything. Oh, no, we can't. Never mind. Let's go get that one down. Now we'll go get this one. And I should be dead. There we go. Easy as that. Rinse, repeat. Get them all down. And hopefully not lose any. If we could get all of them to be like that, we're on track for easy over 9,500. First battle was a bit shaky, so that might have cost us some points, though. Ooh, also now we have to deal with freeze. Hopefully we don't extra turn him right here. Good. He did not get extra turn, and the red we're not frozen on. So I can just grab that, grab that. Unfortunately, that is not full mana, though. Do I have any way to get an extra turn from Cascade? Even if it's only % chance. Though ideally a higher % chance than completely needing a double. But it looks like a double is the only way we could do it. Actually, a quad seems to be the only way we could do it. Or a triple, I mean. Yeah, we could try for triple green. We could try for triple blue. We could try for triple blue. I should probably get rid of his Yao Guai alignment, though, with my move. Seems like the safest bet, so we'll do that. That makes it so Yao Guai has no free turn. We are still frozen, by the way. That is problematic. I should probably take this red just for the sake of getting rid of him. We are frozen on green, however, so I can't go for the other one. What's the most annoying threat? Probably Guai, so we'll kill that out. What to take? We could try for red and then 2 different skull spots. However, we could also just take the skull. And we're still frozen on green. That hasn't changed. So unfortunately, I can't take that green. I'm going to risk it. Didn't get it, unfortunately. Okay. Oh, that's funny. We have him frozen, too. That's what you get for freezing us. Now you get countered by freeze. Go figure. The irony. Actually, that's not ironic. Just coincidental. But he gets countered by freeze when he freezes us. Okay, we'll move that over. And I think we're good to go. We'll get rid of his attack there. And get rid of the other one's attack. And that should be a match. Do we have alignment for something? A drop or anything? Not really. Let's grab that first. And yeah, that's dead. We just do off him. And then we cascade a bunch of manas. Or no manas, just take a bunch of skulls that we don't need anymore. Now that we've already killed him. The power of Zugaf. Though I probably should be taking skulls more often than instant kills. One thing you do have to be wary of with instant kills is instant kills do not count as score. So every time we instant kill, that counts as 0 damage as far as Guild War concerned for scoring. So ideally, unless we really have to, we actually should be going for the skull, which I should have done there instead of taking the instant kill. Keep forgetting about that. It's not too big a deal because obviously we're still winning, but it does lower our score slightly. Going for the Zugaf rather than going for the skull. Yeah, we got a problem here. I can't use this board. What I really need is a yellow or purple surge. Neither are available though. We don't even have it for drop. So I guess we just take some brown. So he cascades that. That gives us some free manas, and now we can start rolling. Get rid of his first slot. Unfortunately, complete miss, but at least he has 0 attack, so he can't really do much to us. Even though it looks like he's doing a lot. 0 attack will not get him that far. Though that did give him a lot of mana, which is going to lower our score. I think at this point I just go for Yellow Surge and go get from there. And hopefully he doesn't do too much. Though if he's just going to keep casting that, he can't really do anything to us, so that's great. We'll get that. Solve the mana we need. Let's go attack, reduce something else. Doesn't even matter. They can reduce our attack every single extra turn he does because we just gain so much by stealing it from him. Not to mention Zugaf gains 4 to all stats per skull. Which is also pretty relevant. Okay, we'll throw this down, throw it on hero so he doesn't kill us because he's getting really close. Zugaf, why do you have to be 1 mana off? Why is everything 1 mana off today for some reason? We'll take that over. And that should be the kill. We just instant kill that and then skull cleans. Final battle. I think this was the final, right? Yep, final battle. Against pretty much the exact same thing. Only thing that can really mess us up is Doomed Club at any point. Wrath, if we haven't attack reduced him yet. And Megavore just getting absurdly lucky off a 8% chance. And the most likely one's probably it getting lucky off an 8% chance. No. Okay, good. No. Okay. It did not get lucky. However, we didn't get rolling yet, and we don't have alignment. That is very... Oh, wait. We do have alignment. Never mind. That's fine. We should be fine. We'll grab that in case we need another convert. Somehow we didn't get full mana, though. Let me go attack reduce him so he doesn't do as much. I wish we had a full mana follow-up. Though we could just kill him with skull, so that works too. And he's going to get skull distracted as well, which is beneficial. Yeah, we'll take it this way. Okay, that's problematic. Ooh, that's super problematic. Ooh. That's not good. That's not good. Well, we haven't lost. But that, gosh, does that reduce our score? We can still lose, though. We got to be really careful. We lose to very lucky Megavore extra turns. Please stop getting extra turns. Okay, we'll take that. Come on, 1 more skull. All we need. Okay, we're fine. We should be fine. We're going to lose so much score for this battle. But we didn't lose. Which means we haven't done that for a while. We went straight 5-0 streak then. This week. Okay, let's see what our overall score is. That should have downed it to like 9,200. That was a horrifically bad final battle. I know. I'll say it's still on track for 9,500, even when it does horrible. 9,435. I'm perfectly fine with that. Also, if anyone's interested in joining the guild, we didn't need to end up reorganizing some. We do have 2 spots left, and still need to go recruit for those. So if you can do 1 million plus gold, ideally 1.5 million plus gold per week, and you're level 1,000 plus, and you can do okay in late game guild wars, we do have 2 spots left. And of course, this actually won't penalize us this week, luckily, because similar to the other guild that we're facing, that's missing 3 people, it only takes 27 out of 30 as of this most recent patch. So if we're missing 2 people, that has no effect on us. And even if you're missing 3 people, that has no effect on you. Only if you're missing 4 or more people will you be penalized during a Guild War week. So it's going to be pretty cool now that you can easily re-recruit on like Sundays and other stuff like that. But anyways, it does look like we're unfortunately going to make 2nd place, because I assume Synergia has already done all their battles. But even with that being the case, we're just not going to be able to close that gap based on what we have left, because we only have 2 battles there, 1 battle there, and that's all we have to go and close the gap. Then whatever our lowest score will be dropped, which might be lower than their lowest score. But I don't think that in total will be enough to close that gap, because even if they score like a 9,500 each time, it's going to get us to not enough. And even if it drops our lowest, that's also still not going to be enough. So it does look like they end up beating us. So we don't get that 50 gem thing, which would have been cool if we could have gotten it just to show, hey, you get 50 gems whenever you make first. But we weren't able to go all the way, but at least we still made the top. So we go to bracket 5, which starts giving us another 25 gems per week again. However, it'll be harder to make first place. I was hoping we could get first place here so we could at least reap the benefits of that 50 gems. But unfortunately, a no. But oh well, still a pretty decent week overall. And it looks like we get double Paragon, because I don't think anyone in my guild has over my score. Let me see, 96,796. Let's see. Nope, that one was the closest, and they lost their final battle. We almost did too. We had a really shaky battle there. Still scored 9,400 plus, though. So it wasn't too bad. Yeah, we got Paragon again. So we got Paragon 2 weeks in a row. Nice. Some people came pretty close, though. There was like 2 or 3 that came close. But nice, we got straight 5-0 again. Though we did have the advantage of having a lot of extra stats this time around, since we were Paragon and everything. So one of the weird things about Paragon is it's actually easier to keep Paragon as Paragon, because you get slightly additional stats, which is kind of funny how that ends up working out. But yeah, it's just kind of weird, because as a Paragon, you have the easiest chance of actually being able to win, which is kind of weird, because if you're Paragon, you already probably have the highest chance of winning, just by the fact that you were able to get Paragon alone, and not based on any other factor alone, just that, you would already have a benefit. Yet they also give you additional stats on top of that, which makes it even easier to maintain. Which quite ironically makes it the easiest to get Paragon as Paragon. No, we still managed to get it. It's still possible, obviously, from any position. But it's easiest from Paragon spot. Hello, Goober. Welcome. Yes, a elemental hero class has the potential to be better than Titan, especially if they still give it Stone Tree. But even without Stone Tree, an elemental hero class, just with Storm alone and ignoring the viability of the other 2 trees, as long as its unique trait isn't horrifically horrible, a elemental hero class would have potential of being stronger than Titan. It could be the new Titan. The only exception being, they're almost guaranteed, if they ever do an elemental hero class, there's almost a guaranteed chance it won't have Stone Tree. Because that combination would easily, hands down, without even a doubt, make it the strongest hero class in the game. Titan will still be viable if they don't give Stone Tree to Elemental. But if they give it to Elemental, it will just be the most overpowered and broken thing in the game, as far as classes are concerned. Yes, Elemental would be very broken in Elemental hero class. Just the typing alone is very strong, with the kind of team synergies it could be used for. Elemental is basically like the new Divine or Daemon. In the past, the most meta typings have been modified over time. At one point, it was kind of like Divine, and then it was Daemons, and then it was Divine again, and normally it's just been like Divine and Daemons. But as of the last several months, elementals have actually been the meta as far as typings are concerned, like which typing is the best, ever since Mirage Queen ends up coming into the game. But yeah, so it's kind of shifted over time. But at this current moment in time, elementals overall are the strongest typing in the entire game. And they have 50% mana start too, unlike Divines that got nerfed to 40%. I really wish they would buff Divines back up to 50%. They only did that because they didn't want to balance other stuff. And now it looks really weird, because Divines have a slightly lower percent than everything else. Yet they're not actually stronger than other typings now. Because there's no doubt that elementals are stronger than Divines currently. Even if Divines got 50% back instead of 40. Actually, I might even mention that next beta test. And see if they'll actually do it. Probably not. But I do want to mention it. Or even next Q&A. Yeah, quite a few classes do have Storm Tree, but none of them count as elementals. Hello, Lucian. All good. Hope you've been enjoying the holidays. And hello, Foro. Hello, Goober. What did I miss? Hello, everyone else. It's the Paragon effect. I know, right? The Paragon effect. The constantly getting Paragon as Paragon because you get extra stats that make it more easier for you to get Paragon as Paragon. The Paragon effect. Oh, let's go claim our diamonds for today. It is Diamond Day after all. So great day to go and spend 50 gems to go do the dungeons, because you'll end up getting 80 diamonds in return, 2 gem keys, a celestial, and a few other valuable resources. It's the only day when it's worth throwing 50 gems on it. And I highly advise doing it every single time. Even if you're a newer player, it is viable to go and do it. And he's dead. If it'll let me take a cast there. You just managed to get Doomed Glaive. Congratulations. Oh yeah, isn't it, it still is that week, isn't it? Yeah, don't forget, anyone, if you, still have some diamonds left, highly advised to go get yourself a Doomed Glaive. It's still available for like 5 more hours as of this exact moment in time. But as soon as reset hits, and what is that, 5.5 hours from now, you will not be able to get this weapon for like another 5 to 7 months or so. So highly advise getting it, because it is pretty decent for the Farce Troll Gob Truffle team, and then using Doomed Glaive with it. Has a few other applicable purposes too. It's one of the better of the 6 converting Doom weapons, arguably the absolute best of the 6 actually. It could be considered the best of all the Doom weapons, so definitely worth considering getting if you have the 900 diamonds and the 2,200 greens laying around. The souls and celestials are super easy. Even if you didn't have them, you could grind them easily within like an hour or 2. Particularly 2. But within 2 hours, you could grind either one of them. And within the time allotted, you would still have enough to farm those 2 if you somehow didn't have those. But of course, the harder part's the diamonds plus the little color jewel thing, more so. But it's only available for about 5 more hours or so. So get on that if you haven't already, or otherwise, if you don't have the limited resources, then unfortunately, you might not be able to get it then. But it's not too big a deal if you don't get it. It's advised to get it. However, it's not going to be the end of the world if you don't. Just because you'll have plenty of other things to go use the diamonds on that'll be viable. And that team doesn't necessarily need Doomed Glaive. While it does technically work best with Doomed Glaive, there's versions of that team that doesn't even need Hero. For example, Farce Troll Double Truffle with Mirage Queen uses no hero whatsoever, and still works very similarly by using Mirage Queen basically as your Doomed Glaive. And it also gives half mana start to your entire team, while being pure elemental. However, you only get the bonus of it being 3 times elemental since you are doubling up a troop, and they only count for unique troops. What is the best trait in the game? That's very situational, which one's the absolute best. Generally, the half mana starts as a whole are the best traits in the game. just because they make things go from not viable to viable within a certain typing, simply by having a half mana start for them. So I'd probably say all the half mana starts are the strongest traits in the game. This is one of the reasons why Divine was nerfed from 50% to 40%. Because those traits are just really, really, very strong. It's technically like 2 empowers. If you don't, not exactly like an empower, since you obviously don't start with a full mana, but it has the mana accumulation benefit of basically 2 empowers. And empower is already insanely good. But assuming nothing on your team has any mana start, it gives you the effect of 2 empowers without actually having anything fully at mana, or at full mana. But it's a really, really strong how much mana value you get out of it. You can get upwards of like 30, 40 starting mana just from a 50% across your entire team. Especially Mythics. Mythics gain at minimum 10 because the lowest Mythic has a 20 mana cost. And quite a few of them average around 24 or so. So on average you're getting like 12 or 13 mana benefit from using that on a Mythic. And that's just one troop, not even counting everything else in your team. That number can easily get above 40 in most situations. 30, 40 or so. Like on the team that we're using right now, we're gaining... Actually, never mind. We're not actually using a percent start team right here. So never mind. We're not actually gaining much. But on, let's say, a Truffle team, for example. Let's say the one I just mentioned earlier. A Farce Troll double Truffle into Mirage Queen. The total amount of starting mana we get for that is 7, 8, and 6. So what does that average out to? That averages out to 16, 24, 31. Or that's not an average, that's exact. But you get 31 mana from that team. For simply using one single trait, you get 31 mana across your entire team. And that's how powerful that thing is. It's basically a free mass explosion at the start of battle. With one single trait. And it doesn't even count as its ability too. It actually gets a proper ability on top of that. Because Leprechaun, while it can do a mass explosion at start, that's the only thing he does, is a mass explosion. He doesn't have any kind of follow-up beyond that, other than, I guess, a gold gain, but that's not applicable for damage in most situations. Very few teams can benefit damage-wise from gold. How much glory to Mythic the rare glory troop coming? What do you mean by that? Oh, how much do you need to buy it up? I believe it's 8,900 or so. Or forget the exact value. We could calculate it out, though. You need 91 copies. You get 2 copies per buy. And it costs 300 glory each. So what's 2 divided by 92? That is 46? Yeah, it's 46. And what's 46 times 300? 46 times 300, I can't do it in my head as well. What's 46 times 300? 13,800. It would cost you 13,800 glory. Wait, did I do the math on that right? That sounds a little high. But I feel like it's lower than that. Is that correct? Yeah, actually, now that I look at it, that does sound correct. 46 times 300? Wow, I didn't realize it was that high. 13,800 glory is how much it's going to cost you to max out the new trip that's coming on Monday. Assuming it's a rare, which you just mentioned. I believe it was a rare, right? Should have been a rare. Yeah, it's a rare. Yeah, if I did the math right, it comes out to 13,800 is how much glory it'll cost. What rarity do we have this week? We might even be able to check it just by looking at that. Oh, never mind. You can't check it because, actually, I guess you could, but we'd already know that math. Rares are under 10k. That's what I thought. They were under, like, what did I do wrong in the math there? Oh, wow. Another Anu already. Nice. We still need more of those, of course. Next, we're putting them into, what's his name? We're putting it into, Queen of Tanya is the next legend we're likely going to be upgrading. Let's see, what rarity was this thing? Ultra rare? Oh yeah, you can't end up doing it to its thing anymore. Well, an ultra rare requires how many copies? What, 41? Pretty sure it's 41. So that's something like 12,300. Yeah, I definitely did the math wrong on the other one. Let's see. What is the math? You need 91 copies, you get 2 each. And then you do... You do get 2 each, right? What's wrong on that math, then? What am I doing wrong? Because you need 46 packs, and they're 300 each. Am I missing something? You do need 91 copies for a rare, right? Because that should be 13,800 then. Do you get more than 2 copies per thing? I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure it's 2 copies. But you have no way of really checking the thingy thing. Do you have any rare that isn't upgraded? Actually, we could look at it through the thing. I know, that does sound like it's too much. But the math looks right. It's 46 times 300, because you need 46 to get it to Mythic. And they cost 300 each, which is 13,800. That sounds overly expensive, because I did used to think it was cheaper than that too. But, I don't know, am I doing the math wrong? It looks right to me. Is the answer in patch notes for what? That's not anything new, the thing that we were just talking about now. That's been around for quite some time. Jellybean recommended my live stream. Well, thanks for that. Yeah, we stream every single day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. However, as I say that, we won't be streaming soon. Thursday's actually going to be our last stream of the year. And I'll be gone for about 2 weeks or so. I'll be gone from the 27th until the, what's it called? Until the 6th. All the way from this Friday until, the, Monday of the 6th. But the next 4 days we'll still be doing 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each time. Even on Christmas and Christmas Eve, we'll still be streaming at that time. Because everything I'm doing on those days to celebrate, I'll be doing prior to the stream actually going. Well, we can easily see on a Monday how much it costs. All you have to do is trigger the little up arrow until it says Mythic. And then you can auto-buy all the way to Mythic. No, don't leave. Unfortunately, I gotta go. I'll still be able to cover some content. Though, at this exact moment in time, I do not have anything pre-recorded. I definitely need to get on that. At least some amount of stuff. But I will be able to record some stuff while I'm there. I'm not sure how easily I'll be able to record the first Monday video. However, the Friday video for the new Mythic, coming out on January 3rd, I believe it is, I should easily be able to cover. And other than that, I guess I'll try setting up everything for the Monday video prior, as far as teams and everything, so I don't have to build all the teams there, which would save a lot of time on that video. It's going to be like a whole video's worth of work that I'll need to do prior on it. However, it'll make it so I don't need to do as much there, obviously, if we did almost all of it prior. Oh, so did I throw down the thing? Yeah, I did. Just making sure. Too bad you can't multi-buy it. Get 1 billion of them. Convert all your gems to diamonds. Fortunately, there's a buy limit of 1 per Sunday, though. But it's worth going for literally every Sunday. But anyways, let me go grind with Scorpius. We were doing that some. I didn't even realize we didn't finish out dungeons. But, oops, this is not the team I want. But, do need to get back on this grind. Also, this is the last day when we can do it with, without it being annoying as well. As of tomorrow, this method will be slightly nerfed. Not completely nerfed, but nerfed enough that it will slow it down, its effectiveness per hour. Because ever so occasionally we're going to start getting a revive, and this team doesn't have any way to quick kill a revive. There's not a single option on this team to do so. The new troop next week's a rare. Yesterday you said you should use the gems on Sundays for something. What was that? The thing I was just talking about in dungeons. So if you have dungeons unlocked, after you do your first dungeon, you'll have access to a pack that you can buy underneath the little top right tab. That costs 50 gems. Don't do the $5 one. The 50 gem one is the one I'm referring to. But for 50 gems, you can end up getting yourself a lot of good loot. It's 2 gem keys, a celestial trait stone, 80 diamonds, which the 80 diamonds alone is worth the 50 gems, and a few other small resources. And it is worth it to go for every single Sunday, even if you just started out in the game. There's a buy limit of 1 per Sunday, but it is worth it literally every Sunday. Even if you're planning on using diamond or gems for something else, it's always worth going for, just because of the value of diamonds. And 80 diamonds comes out to 1/10 of a legendary of any legend in the entire game. It also comes out to what, 1/100th of a mythic, if I'm not mistaken. Or not 1/100th. It comes out to 1/50th. I believe it's 1/50th of a mythic as well, which definitely adds up. Oh, you did do bounties for the first time today. Nice. Yeah, bounties do give a lot of loot, even if you don't spend any gems towards it, and as a newer player, you shouldn't spend any resources towards it. However, yeah, you can get quite a bit of loot. I believe on my Nintendo Switch account, the first event, bounty hunter event we ever did on it, I got to like 11 or 12 or something. Forget exactly where. But with spending no resources, we got to around 11 for 12th reward, or somewhere around there. But yeah, bounty has really good loot. And while I normally throw down gems to go all the way, the value for spending nothing is absurdly high compared to any other event. The other ones that's decently high for spending nothing is the Tuesday events. The Tuesday faction events can give you 2 orbs and a vault key for anywhere from 0 to 30 gems, which is really good value. Also gives a few other resources like chaos shards and stuff, but the main bulk of the loot is the orbs and vault key. Vault key averages to about 80 gem value, though it can be way more, but it can also be near 0 in value. It's really random, but it averages to about 80. And orbs can vary quite a bit, but purple orbs are, small purples are worth about 135 gems, and small blues are worth multiple hundreds, up to about 500 of saving, 500 gems worth of saving. You know what? That's something I haven't made a video on. That's something I should totally cover a video on for when I'm gone. I never realized that, but I haven't actually ever covered a video on it. A video going over the gem value of every resource in the game. Going over if it has a gem value, why it doesn't if it doesn't, and what the gem value is of literally every resource in the game. Because I have not done that. And then we just make a little table thing in the description and just mention it. But we need to go do that then. That'll be a fun video. I mentioned it a lot, but I've never actually explained it in a video fully. Because resources that have a gem value attached to them are way more valuable than any other resource, in most situations. There are some situations where that's not the case. For example, deeds and tokens technically have no gem value. However, they are obviously pretty sought after resources. So it having gem value doesn't automatically make it a bad resource if it doesn't have a gem value. However, it makes it automatically a good resource to some degree if it does have a gem value. It's one of the reasons why trait stones and ingots, particularly trait stones though, have such bad value and seem completely useless, particularly later you get into the game. It's just because they don't convert into anything that has any amount of gem value. So once you use them for what you need to use them for, they have no value. You get 2 copies every single time you buy the rare pack, and it costs 300 each. and you need 91 copies to get it maxed. Which technically means, or not 91 copies. Well, yeah, you need 91 copies to get it maxed. However, theoretically 92 because you can only get them 2 at a time. Which is why I calculated it out for 92 earlier. The only way you wouldn't get them 2 at a time is if you opened the event keys, or if you got some by opening the packs for the invasion event, because the invasion event will be able to drop it to some degree. Obviously, it's a lot more viable just buying them with glory, though, of course. But one thing you should do prior to ever upgrading your glory troop is if you ever plan on using event keys or buying up into a raid, invasion event, or something similar to that, you should always buy up that event first, and open your event keys first, and then open up your glories, because it is possible, especially if you're doing glory key, or sorry, event keys, I mean, especially if you're going to be opening event keys, you're probably going to get enough drops from the event keys that you don't even need to spend any glory, or at least a lot less glory, on actually getting the troop. And the same applies to the event, though not as many. But from buying up to like tier 4, tier 5 in an event, you can end up getting anywhere from like 2 to like 10 copies of the weekly glory troop. So yeah, they can definitely add up. And every single copy you get saving you around 300 glory or so. Or should say in the case of rares, every 2 copies you get, saving you 300 glory. But still, it adds up. What do we grab? Get that down. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. The way that you actually do Bounty Hunter as a newer player is you find the furthest you can go without dying. And as a brand new player, that is normally around 3 or 4. A little bit later into the game, but still being early game, you can get to about 8 or so. And then super late in the game, you can pretty much go all the way with them. But yeah, you could stop at something like 3 or 4, whichever one you don't die on. And then use 4 bounty troops, whichever ones have the highest bonus, while using the bounty captain if you bought it all into the event. Make sure they all have their bounty trait, which should be pretty easy to get. They all have it on their first trait. Really cheap to obtain them. Can get them farmed in under an hour, all of them, your entire team. And then just go from there. Ideally, you do want to use Kaki if it is one of your higher rarities. However, it is better to prioritize higher rarities in that case, just because the higher the rarity of your bounty hunter troops, the more multiplier you get for them. They range from a 2 times to 6 times multiplier, with the bounty captain counting for 2 times that value, and being able to go up to 6 times for a normal one, and 12 times if it's the bounty captain for a given week. And the bounty captain's the one every single week that costs gems, and only gems that week, and it's available after a month. But yeah, what you can do is you search for bounty. Just go under the troop search, click show all, and type the word bounty into troops, and it'll bring up every single bounty troop. And from there, you want to go basically find which ones have the highest base rarity, and then use them, because the base rarity determines the multiplier that they have. So what I mean by that is, if we go over to here. So here are all the bounty troops, and you click show all if you don't already own them all. But of course, we already own them all. But here's every single bounty troop. Currently, nothing else has the word bounty in it, but you can easily check by seeing if they have the first traits of bounty hunter. And if they do, they are a bounty troop. And they have anywhere from a 2 times to 6 times multiplier on your points from using these troops. 2 times if they're rare, and 8 or 6 times if they are mythic. Every single week there's a bounty captain. This is whichever one ends up costing gems. This one, as a newer player, you pretty much just ignore. However, it does have double the amount of multiplier. So if you're wondering why we're using this thing, the Dire Cub, this week, this was the one that ended up coming in this week. And while this will be available in another month after the fact, it won't be available between that time. But during this event, it ends up giving twice the benefit. So even though this says 6 times, it actually gives a 12 times bonus, which is why we always end up using one of those. However, as a newer player, you basically just take the 4 highest bounty troops that you see here that you own, and whichever are the highest 4 rarities, you just compose a team out of those. Ideally, you do want to incorporate Kaki just because it's so strong at upscaling, However, yeah, that's all you really need to do for that. Just pick 4 of the highest rarity. Ideally, have Kaki in it, and figure out what the highest level that you can do, which is likely at that early on in the game around a 3 and a 4, as you mentioned. However, as soon as you get more stats, you'll probably be able to push that a little bit further. By your next bounty, you could probably do it up to about 6 or 8, because you'll have more stats by then between medals and everything, and just more stats in general. And then from there, you'll hopefully eventually get to the point that you could just go... Actually, you'd probably camp 8 for a little while. You need quite a bit of extra stats before you can go all the way. It is worth it to go all the way with 3 compared to camping 8 with 4. However, it does take a bit of stats. So I guess your main goal right now, by next bounty hunter, is to try to be able to run it on 8, or see how far you can get. Even if you can only get to 6 or something, that still will be fine, and it'll get you a decent amount of rewards from the bounty hunter next time around. And just keep trying to push that a little bit. However, 8, 9, or 10 is about as far as you can really end up pushing it before you're going to need to decide if you want to go all the way. Normally, I would say 8's about the sweet spot for it, or so, from what I've found from other accounts. And then anything beyond that, you just go all the way with a 3 team. It is possible to run up to 12 pretty consistently with 4. And even in the current state of the game, you can actually run all the way to 20 with 4, which used to not be possible. However, you need a lot of stats before you can end up doing that. It is possible in the current state of the game, eventually. Right now, your main goal would be to work on trying to get it to 8. Or at least closer to 8. Battle 8, that is. Some of those you got random pulls. Yes, they do come from random pulls. Bounty troops, after 1 month, are in the gold drop key table and the glory drop key table, as well as event keys if they are in the kingdom. So they are available. However, something like Dire Cub, which just came in this week, will not be available for an entire month. However, after that month, bounty troops are just in their normal drop tables. So it is possible to farm them up during non-bounty times through gold keys, glory keys, guild keys, if you have them low enough, as well as... what was the other one? As well as... There's one other way. Oh, and event keys, if they're in the drop table for the week. Which I don't believe there is any next week. Actually, yes, there is. Because didn't we just get the cub? Wasn't the cub actually from Urskia? That's kind of funny. Because it might actually instantly be an event key drop table. I'm not sure if that would be the case. Because I know they normally have a 1-month delay, but I'm not sure if event keys are slightly different in that way. But anyways, that's not too big a deal. You shouldn't farm them off of event keys anyways. That'd be a waste to farm bounties off of event keys. They're normally just obtained off of gold and glory. Is there a video about that? We've covered Bounty Hunter in the past. I can't recall the last time we have, though. I think when it originally came out was when I covered a video on it. Just because the meta for it hasn't ever changed. The way you play Bounty Hunter now is pretty much the same way you played Bounty Hunter back then. The only difference is there's a billion more troops to use, because when Bounty Hunter first was added to the game, there's only 6 Bounty Hunter troops. Now there's like, what, 20-something? But other than that, there really is no difference to Bounty Hunter compared to when it launched. One second. I'm trying to find my search bar. Where is my search bar? There it is. Bounty Hunter. Let's see. Bounty Hunter, basics of Bounty Hunter. Here we go. Here's a video I covered on it. Not sure how up to date it is. It's actually all the way from a year ago, so I assume this is almost around the time when it launched. However, as I mentioned, the meta has not changed ever, so I'm pretty sure this video is still applicable. But there you go. Maybe I'll need to cover another bounty video. However, nothing has changed, so it'll just basically be a rehash of the video, so I'm not sure. But anyways, there's that. Alright, let's go take a brown over, get our splodies. Get a mountain going, get our Scorpius going. Get out of the mountain. And he's dead. Do I have a condition for the release of the code? How about right now? No, we don't have a condition for it. However, we're running low on codes. I'm not sure if I actually even have enough until the thing. I need to go ask... Salty's not around, so I can't ask Salty. However, Can you go ask Syrup if she can go do codes? Because I believe we're going to be ever so slightly short for until we leave. However, if we really had to, we could just use super ultra mega codes, which honestly is probably the way I'm going to go with it. Because obviously we're going to give out a super mega code on Christmas anyways. And we'll probably do one on Christmas and on the day before we leave on Thursday night, the last stream that we're doing. Yep, because we only have 2 codes left. So one will be Monday night, the other will be Christmas Eve. Then on Christmas Day, we will, or on Christmas night stream, I should say, we'll hand out a super ultra code. And on Thursday, we'll do the same. We'll give out one of the better codes, the ones that have 25 gems and the 5,000 gold, and I forget how much souls, but they have slightly better loot than a normal code. But yeah, we'll give those out for Christmas and our final stream of the year, which are both back to back to each other. Next Christmas, of course, this Wednesday, and the final stream that we're doing for this year will be on Thursday. Feels weird saying that, but yeah, it's already the end of the year. Oh, oops, I just did that and then didn't bother posting it to chat. Hold up. 1 second. I used the code and then literally did not give it to you guys. 1 second. There we go. That was a fail. But there you go. There's the code. Can you post the team links for Guild War Defend teams? Sure. I can go bring that up real quick. Let me just go get a tab for that. Actually, you know what's kind of funny? I keep forgetting that I can do. We can actually go over here and open up our own chat. However, then you guys would be able to see it too. So maybe I shouldn't do it that way. But let me go open it the other way. 1 moment. What video is it trying to play? Oh yeah, my own stream. I made sure I actually set it up earlier so we could easily get here. Okay, 1 second. Let me just go get out of this battle. But first we have to actually win this battle to get out of the battle. Since this isn't one we can just run from. Oh, I should have taken an extra turn up there. Well, luckily he gave us one. Go for that, get our double. How's my day? My day's been going pretty well. Mostly just been trying to get a few things situated before the trip. Okay, let me go post all my defend teams for anyone who does want to use them, because I don't believe I did post that at all this week. I mentioned them at multiple times, however, I never actually posted all their codes. But yeah, for anyone who's interested, here is every defend team I have. So here is red. But yeah, let's just post one at a time. There's red. And these are all defend teams, not offensive. Do be wary of that. Green. Blue. Do keep in mind that some of these will not be viable with even 1 troop missing. Yellow, which was one of the biggest issue with sharing Guild War Defense, is there's a lot of instances where troops do not have a replacement. There's one like this is actually quite a bit cheaper since it uses 0 mythics. Brown. Which one did I miss? This is the purple? Is that the only one? And purple. And purple ended up doing the best, by the way. However, a lot of people might not have elemental bow. And purple. Because if you're missing anything from that team, you're probably missing elemental bow. And elemental bow is a pretty big aspect of what makes that team work. Because you're not allowed to double truffle in Guild War context. It's why we're not using double truffle here. Because it's not allowed. It will be penalized if you use double truffle. You'll lose like 500 points every single Guild War week. Or is it 500 or 1,000? But you lose some amount of points for not using pure unique for your defense. Also, do be wary if you're using some of those, but not all of them, that you might have overlap with other teams that you already have set on defend. So do make sure that your troops are unique. So you might need to tweak either the teams I just posted or the teams that you already use, because you are not allowed to repeat something. So if you're already using Yao Guai on a different team, you can't use the Yao Guai Queen of Tanya team, since you'd either have to fully commit to it and change the other one, or change up something with the teams that I just showed in order to be able to do it. But anyways, here's the same loot as always from the codes, so we'll have some better ones for Christmas and a day after Christmas. But there you guys go. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Enjoy, everyone. Also, I forgot if I mentioned it, but we do have a vault event on Friday this week, as well as a new pet on Wednesday. It's cosmetic, though. It's coming out on Christmas. Literally a Christmas tree. Kind of funny. Does it have eyes? It does. I didn't really notice it because it's kind of faded, but it has a mouth and eyes as well. It's kind of funny. It's literally just a Christmas tree with a face. Okay, let's go take out this battle. If anyone still has any other questions, do let me know. Oh yeah, whenever you're doing Bounty Hunter, or really any battle, the minimum you should ever have anything leveled is level 10. If you don't have something leveled to level 10, it is basically useless. In the sense that that's basically the sweet spot for where it gains a decent amount of stats without getting super expensive for souls. If you are running low on souls, just run Arena. Arena in early games is a great way to gain souls. Treasure Hunt also works decently for it. But Arena is where you end up accumulating a good majority of your souls as a newer player. And it is possible to consistently get wins, 8 wins in Arena. You might not be able to initially, but after trying it a few dozen times, or maybe even less than that, you'd be able to get to the point where you could pretty consistently get a straight 8 win. Might still get the occasional loss or two, but you'd be able to actually get wins more often, which would increase your overall loot by quite a bit. Because I believe even with no soul bonus, you get something like 1,200 souls for completing out Arena, which is obviously a decent chunk. And we got an Arachnia there. Okay, so let's go end it out by getting this new pet. Or not a new pet, but a pet. Did we max this already? No, we have not. Good. Need more copies of this thing. So let's go and do it. Key team. Leveling up Slayer class. Looks perfectly fine. So let's get into that then. Never played this game. We were going to ask, do you need to spend money to progress in this game? No. You can easily play this game free to play. It is a little bit of a grind initially. However, after the first, I want to say like 20 to 50 hours, it's like pretty much all the grind. A good majority of like the early game grinds ends up dissipating. But the biggest issue is just getting kind of started. Mostly because until you can get into a decent guild, you don't get as many resources. Like your whole goal as a newer player is to get a lot of early game stuff done, like buying kingdoms and just farming up and learning how to play, and then finally get yourself into a half decent guild. Like that's like your biggest priority as a newer player. But once you finally get into a decent guild, the game can easily go free to play. Like I haven't spent money on this game for like a year and a half now, as far as towards this account. Like, you can easily reach a point where you don't ever really need to spend gems. Or, I mean, not spend gems, but spend money on the game, I mean. But yeah, the initial grind can be a little bit annoying without a good working knowledge of the game. We have made multiple new accounts, though, from scratch before. Like, I've made over a dozen accounts that we've started from scratch, free to play, that have progressed decently. However, that was with a great working knowledge of the game. But, it's definitely possible. It just really depends how much of a grind you're tolerable of. People that really hate grind games probably wouldn't like Gems of War as much, because it's almost set up a little bit more like an MMO as far as how grindy a couple things in the game can be. But as far as being able to play the game, accessibility for free to play, it is definitely really accessible for free to play compared to some free to play games. They are really generous with essentially every resource in the game. Even the premium currency you can farm at extremely high rates compared to other games. Like, you can farm over minimum wage worth of premium currency per hour, which in most other games you cannot. Let's see. Though you can't trade it, so there's no real-world trading in this game, which is one of the reasons why they have it like that. Otherwise, it completely break the game's economy. It's also why real-world trading is actually really popular in some MMOs, like RuneScape, for example. In some countries, the amount of money you can make from farming in-game currency in RuneScape is actually more than their minimum wage, or what they can even earn in their country, which is rather funny. That quite literally farming fake currency is more profitable than doing a real job in their country. Let's see. What do we take here? Throw key down. You're looking through the Stardew Valley live streams? Oh yeah, I haven't played Stardew Valley for a while. Actually, I haven't played it since they added multiplayer, so like a year and a half now. I had a lot of fun with that game, though. I've played through it like 3 or 4 times now. We even did a run where we did it with no shop as well, which is pretty fun. Well, kind of. It was like a weird version of it, but still had a lot of fun with it. Oh yeah, it's available everywhere. Gems of War is available on every platform. PC, mobile. On PC, it's on Steam. It's on Switch. It's on Xbox One. It's on PS4. However, I do advise using the PC mobile version, just because it's the main version of the game. It's also cross-platform, whereas all the other ones are not cross-platform. Yeah, I do need to get around to playing more games more often. I feel like I've been playing a really small variety of games as of recently. In like the past several years, I've played like such a wide range. But these days I've mostly only been playing like Gems of War and a few Nintendo things here and there. How do you get Elemental Bow? You have to find it in Soulforge. It's only available during a certain kingdom. I forget what kingdom. Let me go double check. But it's only available for basically 1 week every like 6 months in the current state of the game, unless you randomly get it off a $5 offer. But if you want to get it for free, or free off of in-game resources, it only rotates about once every 6 months or so. But let me double check, and remember I need to go do one more battle. But let's see, Elemental Bow. Elemental Bow comes in on Forest of Thorns event weeks. The next Forest of Thorn event week is, actually I can kind of show it on screen. The next Forest of Thorn event week is, why is this page broken? Return to main menu. Troops. Oh, wait, never mind. I was already on the right screen. Oh, you can actually get it pretty soon. January 6th. So, never mind. Even though its rotation is normally about 6 months or so, it is available very soon. January 6th is the next time you'll be able to buy Elemental Bow, which means by next Guild War, you will be able to have Elemental Bow, assuming you have the resources to craft it. So, yeah, never mind. Yeah, you'll be able to get it really soon. January 6th is the next time you'll buy Elemental Bow then, or when you'll be able to get it. And that's actually the day we're coming back as well. We'll be streaming probably that Monday night. However, the event video probably won't be up till Tuesday. But, yeah, Elemental Bow. Also, I believe you can get Yasmin's Pride during that time, too. 2 really good weapons to go and craft. Honestly, I would say Yasmin's Pride is better than Elemental Bow, though. I actually forget if Yasmin's Pride is even from there. I feel like it is, because Yasmin's from here. But, yeah, Elemental Bow would be craftable during the week of the January 6th. So the first Monday after New Year's is when it will be available. Yeah, that's right around the corner. So save some resources for that. Let's see, what's everything that will be craftable that day? Everything that will be craftable as far as weapons are the following. Where's Forest of Thorns? Forest of Thorns. Oh, never mind. Yasmin's Pride isn't from here. But yeah, the only viable weapon to craft would be Yasmin's Chalices, but Yasmin's Pride isn't. But yeah, Elemental Bow would be the main thing you would want to craft that week, at least out of weapons. We don't know what's going to be in Soulforge for troops, obviously, because of how the rotation works. But we do know the weapons in advance, and Forest of Thorns Elemental Bow will be available on the 6th, and for that entire week. So start saving now if you really want that weapon. Hey, let me go do the pet, and we'll probably end it there. Any other questions before we head out? Yeah, Elemental Bow is a pretty nice weapon. I don't feel like I ever use it offensively. However, it is really good defensively for that Truffle team. And if we ever get an Elemental Hero class, it has potential of being very broken with an Elemental Hero class. Unfortunately, no Elemental Hero class currently exists. However, you can still use it with Max Titan and anything that has that Storm Tree. Because Storm Tree makes it so all elementals on your team gain 1 magic per extra turn, or is it per cast? It's per something. But regardless, you'll be easily able to get it over and over again, which stacks quite a bit of damage across your team, especially when using Truffles and other similar options. Hey, no problem, AG Walker. Any other questions, anyone? Otherwise, we'll be covering the Monday event video soon, TM. And we'll have our normal streams for the next few days. Hopefully I'll get some stuff pre-recorded in time. And we'll have that all rolling out for when I'm gone. Hopefully we'll have a video up every other day or so. Yeah, I think I could end up aiming for that. What would it come out to every other day? Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then probably that Sunday before I get back. So yeah, I think I could get 5 videos, and 2 of them would be recorded there. So I would need to pre-record 3 videos then. That should be manageable. Yeah, if we do it every other day, we could fit in 5 videos. Saturday would be some kind of guide video. Monday would be the event video, assuming I can get it done that day. I should have enough time. If I do everything preemptively before I go for that video, I could probably get it done in about an hour, recording it, uploading it, and then, or maybe a little bit more. It depends how long it takes on our internet to upload, because I'm not going to have a wired connection. But that shouldn't take more than 2 hours. And assuming I already have it all set up prior. And then Wednesday we'll have some kind of other guide video. Friday will be the new Mythic. Next week's Friday. Not this Friday. And then that Sunday we'll just cover one other thing, and then we get back that Monday. And then I cover that event video probably on Tuesday, because I'm pretty sure I won't have enough time on that Monday to do it, because most of the day I'll be flying, and then probably napping, and then doing our stream, and then sleeping. And then hopefully be back to normal after that, after we do the event video that following Tuesday. But anyways, that sounds like the game plan. But of course, next event video will be tomorrow, for the one that's coming out tomorrow. Is there going to be a red, green, or blue, green troop in the glory shop ever? Yes. However, it's completely random. Or not completely random, but... let's see. What color were you referring to? A red, green, or blue, green? Yes, blue, green's available on the 30th. So that's already right around the corner. You'll be able to get the 30th of this month. You'll be able to go and get that. That's next week, actually. Not tomorrow, but next week's Monday. So that's right around the corner if you want blue-green. As far as red-green, that's probably a little bit further out. Nope. Wow, every single thing we're trying to find, it's like instantly. That's on January 6th. The same time you'll be able to go get the elemental bow is the same time you'll be able to go get red-green. But yeah, the next blue-green is going to be on the 30th, the week of the 30th. And the next red-green will be on the 6th, which is the same time the elemental bow will be available again. So that works out quite conveniently then. Every single thing you ask for is coming within weeks. That's normally not the case. Sometimes it can take like months upon months, but you got pretty lucky that all 3 things you need are right around the corner. Pretty much on the same week. Also, that looks pretty cool, the parrot troop. I didn't even notice that earlier. But look at that. That almost reminds me a little bit of Cass from Breath of the Wild, except different species of bird. It's more of a parrot, obviously. Well, obviously a parrot is what it's based off of. Pretty cool bird, though. I like it. But anyways, guys, any other questions? Otherwise, that's going to be the end of the stream, I guess. We'll be back, as I mentioned, tomorrow. Same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, an hour and a half prior to now tomorrow night. We'll also have the event video up sometimes tomorrow, going over all the Soulforge stuff, going over, our, everything with the event week. Since we'll actually be able to know more information then, since we don't currently know Soulforge, and we'll show a bunch of teams for the week and all the normal stuff we do. Other than that, we'll still have some streams coming up to Christmas. We'll still be streaming Christmas Eve. We'll still be streaming Christmas Day. And Thursday will be the last stream this week. And then after that, we'll be gone from the 27th to the 6th. But we'll still have some video pretty much every other day, hopefully, rolling out. And we'll go from there. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday. Happy Hanukkah as well for any of you that do celebrate Hanukkah. And I will catch all of you later. Goodbye, everyone. And thank you so much for watching. Oh, that's not... I'm like trying to close the stream through that. Also, feel free to leave a like. Ends up helping out a lot. Goodbye, everyone.